Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're just going to have a couple fellas talking about some wrestling and giving you the good stuff. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by Captain Jerkbeard Tom Lavelle, and we'll be discussing all things wrestling. Tom, are you ready to get this thing started?
I am.
Very good. Well, in case you're wondering, you can find all our content and all our stuff on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can help us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so I can stop asking you to like and subscribe. This is the Working Perspectives Podcast, Wrestling Perspectives. Let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies, working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid, launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live, then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
All right, Tom, got a lot to come over. Let's get it started. First thing I want to talk about is Cesaro leaving the WWE. Kind of a shocker. And I mean, dude, total talent. You've been singing his praises since the fucking day one with this guy. So what are your thoughts on Cesaro?
It's almost like sad because he's so awesome, especially like in ring. I know he's not the best like on the mic. I wish they at one point had him with Paul Heyman. I felt like that could have been great for Cesaro to have someone talk for him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's his accent or he just seems like a really nice guy that, you know, he could never, you know, get over as this like badass or whatever.
Yeah.
But in the ring, he was always innovative. He's always creative. He always did things that I loved.
Yeah.
I loved Cesaro. And it's just a shame that WWE yet again can't do anything with the amazing talent that they have. And it's just over and over
But
and
we're
over
seeing
again.
Fucking Goldberg main event pay-per-views.
Yeah. Like why? Yeah. Goldberg's going against Roman Reigns and you have Cesaro not even in the Royal Rumble, not at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view at all.
Or
you
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. You have Big E, you know, lose his title quick. Like these are the two guys that have been around and been two of your best wrestlers for the last decade. And you can't like, you just you don't care. Like, and I just don't understand what WWE is doing.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's just like eventually I just have to stop watching because they don't deserve the views that they get from the universe, from everybody. So the only way I think to change it would be hit them in the pocketbook and have people just stop, even though they're getting paid no matter what. So I don't know when it's going to change, if it's ever going to change. But
not. Dude.
The only positive is I can have my 4-year-old watch it because AEW is still a little too, too risky.
Did you see Natalia's outfit that she wore on Friday Night SmackDown? She was dude, they're showing off cleavage. That new Nikita Lyons chick in NXT.
I love her.
But they're showing off like the girls are wearing more scantily clad stuff.
Well, they're trying to get over too.
Yeah.
They know the way to do it.
They know how they're look at Anna Jay and Ty Conti in ring. They both suck. But are they over as shit? They are fucking over as hell because they're good looking. But to your point about Cesaro, dude, when Cena had the open challenge for the US title, those two matches he had with Cesaro were fucking barn burners. And then remember the match he had with Ricochet last year? Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. In ring, dude, he's even when he would go to like NXT UK, there was the show in like Blackpool, I think, and he fought that like the German guy, like he's got like the the blonde dude, but that match was so physical and so good. He's in ring, right? Like I remember even like the big guys talking about him, say like Big Show and those guys being like they always felt comfortable with him because he can actually carry them. Kane, I think, said it too. So like he's, everyone loves working with him from what we heard. I mean, hearsay in the back, the dude, everybody loved him. And like, dude, he's a gamer. So he had the gamer crowd, right? Like he's over. He's fucking over, I don't know, man. Maybe he just got saddled with some shit gimmicks.
They don't do it with anyone. Like they don't know how to build a brand. And like another thing is I feel like there's just too many singles wrestlers too. Like they don't have any tag teams. They really don't. Like the Usos are like their only real and the Viking Raiders, who are terrible. Like they're not terrible, but like they have no chance.
They shit on them, dude. They squash them all the time, dude. Like I mean, American or Alpha Academy, but dude, even before that, if you look back to like 2016-ish, there was a program that the Usos had with American Alpha, that those matches that they had were fucking barn burners. They were incredible matches, right? And now, like, dude, what happened? They broke those guys up. Like, I think Vince is kind of afraid of the stables. You know what I mean? Because they would always negotiate together, I guess. But I don't know. Yeah. Imagine if there was a major faction and Cesaro's just the silent killer in that faction. He's over like Rover, push him to the fucking moon. You know what I mean?
I like, Cesaro's never going to be Stone Cold. You know what I mean? Whatever. No one is.
But who knows? The way the world goes, who knows? Like, no one thought Orange Cassidy, like, if you were a traditional wrestling guy, no one thought Orange Cassidy could get over, but he got over because this is the time it was. Maybe he wouldn't have gotten over in the Attitude Era, but just because the time it is now, people love his gimmick. You know
Orange
what I mean?
Cassidy would have gotten over in the Attitude Era. I think he would have gotten over.
I think
he might have got squashed by some of the wrestlers. I don't know.
But I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have been taken as seriously. Like he's taken as a serious main event player.
Scotty Too Hot, he got over.
But he wasn't, going for any titles and beating Chris Jericho. He got over, but he wasn't, But I'm just saying, Cesaro has the ability to get over and be a main event guy. He has the in-ring ability. Get him someone on the mic, something. I agree. But yeah,
a lot of things led me to thinking too, what AEW does differently is that they have a ton of tag teams. And so when they're having their shows weekly, what they'll do a lot of times is they have their great tag teams. Well, so then they have their singles guys and they'll put one person that isn't a singles wrestler, is a tag team wrestler against a singles wrestler. And it'll showcase that guy. But he doesn't necessarily have to win because he's not a singles wrestler. He's a tag team wrestler. Where WWE would rather have singles wrestlers and then always put them in tag matches against each other. And it's like, you don't showcase anyone that way. You see the same fights all the time. You need more tag teams in there.
They'll even take AEW, to your point, will even
real tag teams.
Yeah. The AEW, to your point, will even take tag team guys, right? Like I remember Ray Phoenix versus Nick Jackson, that match. Oh my God. Barn burner. But like they'll do it all the time. They even did it like I think Isaiah Cassidy had a big match the other week, you know what I'm saying, against Keith Lee when Keith Lee debuted. Right. And like they gave him some offense. He didn't have to job totally, got some offense in, but he was athletic and got his athleticism. Also, while he's out there, his tag team partner's out there also. So they're both getting TV time. You know what I mean? So, and it's just the small things too. I don't know, but let's keep it moving. So hopefully, hey man, I would say AEW definitely needs more big guys. I know it's tough because they're turning into WWE, but I mean, Cesaro can just go anywhere and be incredible.
I would like it if he didn't go there. Honestly, I'd like NWA to start. I'd like them,
dude,
or Impact, somebody like that.
Honestly, they just need to build the ecosystem, right? Like AEW, they're smart because they're building the ecosystem. They're having all these guys go to GCW and NWA and New Japan and Ring of Honor and whatever, Defy, even these small places, they let their guys go back there and they do big numbers on YouTube and things like that. So yeah, if you saw Cesaro on Impact or on GCW, like if him and Matt Cardona started hanging out together and they created the FWWE stable, like they'd be the hottest freaking thing going. Everyone want him.
I think Braun Strowman and
he just debuted at Impact, right?
Well, they're starting their own company. I think it's Braun. God, there's another big name.
Bray Wyatt?
No. Another former WWE wrestler that left, but that was really
Hawkins?
good.
Oh.
I mean, I'd have to look it up, so I don't want to waste the time.
That's fine. So okay, so let's keep it moving. So the next thing we want to talk about is from what it appears, they're starting a program with Kevin Owens for him against Stone Cold. Tell me your thoughts about this, and why do you think this is happening? Because nothing has been said or set in stone. There's just rumors that Stone Cold's coming back, and why do you think it's with Kevin Owens?
So Owens he keeps teasing how much he hates Texas. Everything's bad about Texas. Texas stinks. He's doing it on Twitter. He does it every week on Raw, and it's just like he just constantly is doing that. And there's rumors all over that Stone Cold's coming back, and they seem to be pretty significant. And why is he coming back? Probably for the payday. There's probably a huge payday, I'd imagine. WrestleMania's in Texas. They're supposed to sell out the AT&T Stadium 2 nights in a row. I'm thinking that they didn't sell it out like they would have liked to, and Stone Cold is a huge draw. The thing that upsets me is there's a couple things. One, the way they're building this up, like, oh, Stone Cold, who hasn't wrestled in years, said he would never wrestle again. That's all the worst neck in the history of the world. And he's going to do it because someone's making fun of Texas, saying Texas stinks. And now, this is going to motivate. Nobody talks about Texas with me. I'm going to come out and I'm going to risk my life. Like, no, like, it's so stupid and it's so typical WWE. Two, the thing that upsets me too is like, oh, Stone Cold's coming back. And it's like, you think maybe they're going to start going towards that demographic. That's us. Maybe they're going to start going towards that more like storytelling, better, little more risque, little just a better product. And they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They've got their money. They could care less. And this thing, it's like they have the fans, they have this and that, and they have all the talent in the world, the greatest talent. You can see it because as soon as they go somewhere else, they put on the best show in the world. Yeah. And they can do nothing with it. And I don't know why it just keeps happening at WWE. And I hate it because I've always been a WWE guy from when they were WWF. And they stink. They stink.
Dude, it's not watchable. And I said it. So perfect case in point is last night, Friday Night SmackDown, right? In the first 56 minutes of the show, right? They had 2 wrestling matches, right? I don't know how many commercials, and the 2 wrestling matches was a tag team that wasn't, or it was a tag team match with no implication. So it wasn't for any titles. It was the New Day, and it was Big E and Kofi versus Los Lotharios, right? Yeah. Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, right? They put those 2 together. It was a good match. It was a good match, right? But it was just a time taker. And then the second match they had was Natalia versus Jai Lee or whatever, the chick that just came up. But so in the first 56 minutes, as we're doing, do you know how they started off Dynamite this week with a fucking tag team battle royal? And it was just bam, segment right after that, just nonstop. Like, hey, quick promo, right back to action, quick promo. And it's just so fast paced, so moving. Dude, they started off the show with,
and they have stuff that is meaningful in telling the story. Yeah. Those matches that you mentioned, they mean nothing. They mean zero.
Nothing. They had no implication towards anything leading towards the pay-per-view.
It's all
to Mania. It's nothing to Mania. Neither of those matches have any storyline going to Mania. I know that they have 6 hours of TV a week that they have to fill, and that's just with Raw and SmackDown. But you have enough talent where just give everyone a storyline. Who gives a shit? And
think about having all that time and still not being able to tell any stories. The only stories they can tell are Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns, or Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Again.
Yeah. But you know what, though? Stone Cold and The Rock wrestled in the main event of 3 WrestleManias. So this is their 3rd one. And it's been 3 years, I think. So I'm not upset with it. Right. But And I like that story. You got Paul Heyman now. He's been a heel.
Well, what they did at the Rumble when he betrayed him again, dude, that was just incredible creative. And that's the kind of shit I want to see. But then on the bottom end of that, like, what else is there besides that storyline? Can you tell me another major storyline
of WWE, like men's? Of
anything,
the men's?
Any men's, women? I mean, Ronda and Charlotte, right? But like that, you know, like that's what they started the show with, but it wasn't anything great. And really, it was Sonya Deville and Charlotte because it's led to Sonya Deville wrestling Charlotte next week. Like, who cares? Or Sonya Deville wrestling Ronda next week. You know what I mean? Like, that's where the promo went to after kissing Ronda's ass for 20 minutes, Charlotte coming out being awesome. And then, you know, then Deville coming in and jumping Rousey. It was just like, it's tough to watch, dude. It really is. And it's honestly, the worst thing about it is we tell people we watch wrestling. Everyone thinks like the bullshit about it. Right. And then they do this. And it's like, well, sometimes they're right. Because if that's what we're telling people to watch, I wouldn't watch it either. But AEW is different. So let's keep it moving. Did you have anything else you want to say about that, Stone Cold and Owens?
No, but the company, the Braun Strowman is starting a company with EC3.
Oh, very cool.
So those two are starting a wrestling company. So.
Nice. Awesome. Hey, Forbidden Door is open in AEW, so we'll probably see him there. Nice. So you know what too,
and that makes it good for every company because
they're building the ecosystem. They're building the ecosystem.
You never know who might show up.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh my god!
So it's building tickets
What's he doing
everywhere
here?
You go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, exactly. Dude, Darby Allin showed up at the Defy show in Seattle the other week to offer a contract.
That
exactly.
was awesome.
How great was that? You know, and
I do like that WWE signed AJ Styles to a long-term contract, but like, it's a shame because it's just like, hey, we're gonna waste 3 years with him, you know. But they gave him big money, and so
he's just gonna job now. Like,
is it appealing to WWE wrestlers that, I mean, they're not having to do like, they're not cutting themselves, they're not doing, you know, going through, you know, they're not having these hardcore matches, they're not doing like.
But I think it's only a couple people that are doing that. It's not like everyone's having lights out hardcore matches. Other guys are just having good quality, strong matches, but they're being physical. I think like the guys in AEW want to be physical and they want to be stiff in the ring. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's like, they take pride in that.
Will there be a time where that is going to backfire? One, in AEW, the stiff, those types of matches where it's a little more hardcore, bloody, gory, the toll it takes, like, because a lot of people are having them. Yeah. And then two, the amount of talent that's coming in, are they going to have too much? And there's not going to be, there's only, you know, one ball. You know what I mean? Who's going to,
but it just makes, I mean, dude, so, okay. So
like, for example, there's the tag match coming up, right? And we're going to get into Revolution. So they're going to have they still haven't decided who the third tag team is going to be in the tag team championship match at Revolution. Who is that going to go to? Because FTR, are they going to be left out again? Are the Young Bucks going to be left out this time? Are they going to miss a pay-per-view? But
answer
Santana and Ortiz going to be left out?
So if it's WWE, you can really pick every match, right? That's part of the beauty of AEW is that you don't know because they have that. Like, who would you like to see? Honestly, I would love to see the third tag team be Silver and Reynolds because fucking Johnny Hungy is over. Johnny Hungy is fucking over.
Yeah, but right? You think they put the belts on him?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think, well, if
then you have a pay-per-view without the Young Bucks and you're going to have this great pay-per-view and the Young Bucks aren't on it.
Have they ever missed a major pay-per-view? I don't think so.
Have they missed a pay-per-view at all?
I don't think so. Yeah. So, but if they don't, then they're interfering and they're robbing Red Dragon. I'll say that. But let's do this. So let's talk about
that's a good call.
Rampage last week, right? There's two things. It was a really good show, right? Started off with the Battle Royal, right? Really like that. I didn't like that. I mean, the Battle Royal itself was good. I don't like that Red Dragon won, and I think we agree with this
You mean Dynamite? You mean Dynamite?
Oh, Dynamite. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
So last week or Dynamite, but I don't like that Red Dragon won the Battle Royal, and we've talked about this because I don't like when a WWE guy comes in right away and they push him to the moon. Like, let him mix around a little bit. Like, I know Daniel Bryan he's main eventing shows, but he's putting in quality matches. He doesn't need a belt to do it. He just goes out and like, dude, the shit he did with Hangman and with Kenny, like, I think he earned his spot there after, and he's out there working and he puts on quality matches. But for Rampage,
well, you got if you talk about the matches going up, you got Hangman going, or you got Adam Cole going for the title. You've got now Red Dragon going for the championship of tag team championship. You got Punk going against MJF, Danielson and Moxley. I mean,
well, so
WWE.
True. Well, Punk, I mean, yeah, I guess Punk he didn't come from WWE to there. Like he just was retired and came. But so let's talk about this then. So
I mean, amazing card though. Like, I cannot wait for this Saturday for fucking Revolution. Like, it is gonna be so good.
Let's talk about Dynamite last week though. So like we said, started off with the Battle Royal. I'll tell you, Jungle Boy's do you think if Jungle Boy didn't have that music, he'd still be as over as he is? Because I don't think so. I think the music is what put him over to getting over, right? He's good in ring, everything like that. But
I think you got to take the belts off him. I'm not interested in them.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Agreed. They're the tag team titles when it's FTR, Young Bucks, Lucha Brothers, like the tag teams are at the tippy top.
Santino
right?
Ortiz. You got, Johnny Hungy and
dude, even the best friend. I'm not a big fan of Chuck Taylor, but Trent Peretta's really good.
The Acclaimed.
The Acclaimed. Oh, yeah. So that's another thing.
But dude, that's the tag teams we named right there. And like, I know we were talking about before, WWE. Like, what is the real tag teams? The Usos? I mean, is that it? The New Day, sort of, sometimes.
But yeah, New Day's a rotating tag team. It's a threesome that's like, oh, you get these two, or you get these two, or whoever. You know what I mean? It's not always...
the Viking Raiders. Even though I think American Alpha is starting to be a real like people that are committed to tag team wrestling.
Yeah, I agree. So, but after so I do like this, right? So after the Battle Royal, there was like a scuffle between the Young Bucks and Red Dragon, and then Adam Page comes out and he starts whooping up on Red Dragon, and the Young Bucks are like, well, F you guys, we're leaving. And then Adam Cole comes out, right? Or Adam Page came out, roughs up Red Dragon, then Adam Cole comes out, and then Adam Page cuts a decent promo on him. But what I liked, and this is what's going to get Red Dragon over, is why while Hangman's cutting the promo, Bobby Fish is making like these comments on the ramp that are like fucking hilarious. Because he's like, Adam Cole or Adam Page is like, who wants story time with Adam Page, baby? Right. And right away, Fish is like, that's copyright infringement. What do you think I just thought that was so funny. And like, he's making these remarks. So those kind of things, that's what's going to get him over. But right after that, you get a promo from Bryan Danielson looking good. You know what I'm saying? The next, dude, this honestly, let's talk about it. You and me want to talk about it. The MJF promo. So 2 things. 1, I think that someone told him that he's not versatile, that he can only be a dick, that he could never win over the crowd. This is one of those like Roman leukemia moments where the crowd is legit saying like, shut the fuck up.
And then they're like, well, wait, what are you saying?
Well, he's saying like, and they said, shut up, little Jew boy. And then the crowd's like, shut the fuck. What did he just say? Yeah. So he's like crying and he's upset. Yeah. And all of that,
sold it.
Dude, he turned the crowd. He is the most hated fucking wrestler, and he turned that crowd. And it was a Pennsylvania, or no, it wasn't. It was Boston or Connecticut. But he turned that fucking crowd, and they they were with him. And then I just don't like how CM Punk came out at the end, tried to steal the thunder, being like, was that real?
I thought that was good.
Was that real?
I thought that was good.
I don't know. I'm not a fan.
I thought that was good. I thought he came out, and I think it's gonna tell the story. I think this was all an act, and MJF's gonna like, and it
I
was
I
so
hope
good.
so. I hope so.
I bet it is,
dude. If
and
this
I
guy's
think he's gonna
talents to
use
the
it. Like,
moon.
I think he's gonna lose, right? And he's gonna say, like, he's gonna start pulling that stuff and put on the tears, and then he's gonna hit him from behind or something like that to get the win.
Yeah.
But like the day that it does happen, if it ever happens, and I think me and you have talked about this before, when MJF is a baby face, he's going to be one of the hottest baby faces going, because he's been such a heel he'll be such a heel for so long. And then eventually, if he's ever the good guy, people are going to love to see it, because he's been such a fucking bad guy for so long. Like when he was with Cody and like he came out to help Cody, remember the pop he got when his music hit? It was years ago, but like that music hit, and it was
people
like,
wanted him.
He's doing the right thing. Oh my God. And he did it, and he like helped him, but then eventually it was a fake.
Yes. But that made it even better. That made it even better. I agree with you. So yeah, MJF's promo, just another red hot promo. That guy, like, he's been fucking.
Is it because they're letting the wrestlers do what they want? Or is it because they have the minds in the back to say, this is what we're doing, and this is
I think it's both. I think the minds in the back give them direction, and then they let them perform, right? So they tell MJF, hey, swerve the crowd, play the the angle of he abandoned you, all of that, right? Play that to the crowd, sell that, and then he goes out there and he fucking sells it. Maybe they give him a couple pointers, like, oh, maybe you want to try and say this, maybe you want to try and say that. But I think it's the talent. I think it's a combination of both. Them giving him a direction and him just fucking nailing it. He nailed it. He absolutely, he had the whole, people crying in the crowd. He had the whole place going. The look he's given Punk at the end. I mean, just nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Right. And sold the match. Right. Like Punk had.
He was crying. I was like, damn, this guy's.
Dude, Punk,
in my head, I'm thinking, is this real? Like, is he for real?
Dude, the fact that you're thinking that just shows how good it is. Yes.
And is where you get your best product, is when people are questioning, is this real?
Yes.
Like, is this reality? Because everyone knows it's a show, but then you're like, wait a second, is this really happening right now? Like, what is so AEW is the shit, man. They know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. So, and then we'll keep it moving from there. MJF's promo, freaking incredible. Then they had a good 2.0. They are they're funny. They're good in ring. They're another good tag team, another AEW legit good tag team. 2.0, they can wrestle in ring. They can do good stuff, but they're also they're getting over on the mic and they're getting over on BTE. So I'd like to see more of them. The next was the Kings of the Black Throne. Now, this was a decent match. It was the Kings of the Black Throne versus Pac and Penta Oscuro. And I do love Penta Oscuro's new look, and his new entrance was pretty nice, pretty badass. He looked pretty cool, and they would end up getting the win. I'll tell you, Brody King is a big son bitch. He is a big moving hoss, and he's decently athletic for his size. The one thing I didn't like, and I continue not to like about Aleister Black, get rid of the fucking mist. I'm done with the fucking mist, right? Let's be done with the mist. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like.
I'm not a huge Aleister Black guy. Never have been.
I mean, I don't hate him. I think, it is what it is. I think when he worked, he's had some decent matches, but he's nothing. I don't think he should have squashed Cody Rhodes. I don't think he's that good to squash Cody Rhodes, but
and then you look at who's in that match. I mean, Pac. I think Pac is maybe the best wrestler in the world.
True. And same with Penta. Penta might be.
Where's he? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like AEW could run into trouble. And if WWE is smart, if they ever turn it around, ever in their lives, if they ever, the rest of history, WWE, if they ever decide to do the right thing.
Dude, do you think they made Pac job to Enzo? Do you really think he would trust WWE? They ended up winning. Penta ended up pinning Aleister Black, and they ended up winning, right? Penta and Pac. So they won, and they both looked good. It was a very athletic, very hard-hitting, good match, as Penta and Pac always do. But I don't think Pac, I don't know. I think he's still sour on having to job to Enzo because he legit might be the best wrestler in the world and he had to job to Enzo.
Right.
But
and why job but they could have built that, you know what I mean? They could have really done that could have been a main event of a pay-per-view, because that's no discredit to Enzo.
True,
I fucking
very true.
Love Enzo.
And Enzo is over on the stick.
If Enzo came back to WWE, I'd be like, yes, dude, I would love it.
But he made him job like it was nothing, Enzo got over. He had his the cruiserweights over. The cruiserweights were winning in the ratings when he was on TV.
When he was on TV, I wanted to watch because he was a wild card and and he was funny.
Dude, when he did the roast of the cruiserweights, did you ever see that?
Yeah, he was awesome.
Fucking great.
And he did
absolutely great
from the ground up. And that's but see, that's where and then WWE also is another thing. I know they put Enzo over, and I agree he should have been over, but they didn't do it right. Yeah. But they'll put over someone because they have a bunch of Twitter followers, not necessarily because they get a reaction on the microphone or they bump up the views on the TV. They'll be like, oh, you have how many followers because you have a video game show? Oh yeah, you're going to get a belt. You're going to do this. Yeah. It's but they're not really doing anything on the wrestling show.
True.
Whatever. I'm just saying
no, it's true. I mean, it's true. I mean,
that's how they give them the run. Right.
It doesn't make sense. It has nothing to do with mic skills or talent. Yeah. They don't, and then they don't give him a real run. You're right. But it's they don't.
Oh, we'll give you this little piece. Here's a little crumb to keep you happy. You know, I guess
they give him the Ziggler treatment. It seems like besides Roman and Brock, everyone gets the Ziggler treatment where everyone's all right.
Seth is up there too. Seth gets the good runs.
True, but everyone else, they just get
Bobby Lashley.
But dude,
McIntyre.
But Miz, I'll tell you, Miz is the one that deserves every run he gets. That guy, he can turn any he can get any situation over.
I love him, but he hasn't he was away for a while, and in ring, I mean, he's not doing anything spectacular.
But he makes you hate him. He can make you hate him. I love him, but he can turn a crowd. Dude, when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut. Fucking come on. He can get a crowd going. He can get stuff over.
But I haven't really been into him. I think he's funny, but I haven't been invested in a match since he cut the promo on Talking Smack, and then him and Ziggler, when he was the IC champ and stuff like that. He's one that deserves a long run, but he has to get a little more
I don't know. When he had the two dudes with him, when he had Bo and Kurt Hennig's son with him,
when he had Mizdow. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff.
Oh, Mizdow was so funny. Dude, what happened where is Damian Sandow? That guy was great. So, okay, let's keep it moving. So then what happens is that Brody King and Aleister Black lose the match. They're pissed afterwards. Brody King starts beating up on Penta, beating up on Pac. He's really smashing them. They're about to decapitate either Pac or Penta with a shovel. All of a sudden, lights goes out. And who's there but Buddy frickin' Murphy, now going by Buddy Matthews. Dude, I'll tell you, he looked yoked. He's on all the gear. He was on all the fucking gear, that guy. But he is yoked. Also, I think he's Alexa Bliss's ex-husband. But totally yoked, frickin' jacked. Dude, always fan of his work. Total athlete. Can go. He's like a Pac in a way where he can go with anyone. Super strong, super fast. Dude, and the move he did to Penta where he smashed his face into the chair. I don't like how Aleister Black's handling it, though. He's just not a good leader. He's not charismatic enough to lead a faction. But I mean, hopefully Murphy will turn on him and whatever. So, that was good. But I want to keep it going then. So let's talk about the pay-per-view Revolution coming up. So first thing we'll talk about is we have Hangman Page versus Adam Cole for the AEW Championship, which this should be the last match on the show. The belt is the show, right? That is the main event. The belt is the main event, right?
Yeah, I think it will be.
I'm
looking forward to it.
I think it will be as well. I think it's going to be a good one. I think both these guys great in ring stuff. We'll love to see what's going to work. Hangman Page is over like Rover. But hopefully too, I'd love it. I hate that he doesn't hang out with the Dark Order more. You know what I mean? Like the Dark Order
Well,
got
him and Johnny Hungy. Johnny Hungy was hanging around after he came out. You know?
True. Yeah, and Johnny Hungy helped him, and he took out Red Dragon with that flip. But dude, the Dark Order is what got him over in the first place. He needs to stay with them, right?
Yeah.
Like he was there, but hanging with the Dark Order got him all the way there. And them being like his boys, dude, when they had that 7-man tag, right? Oh my God, with the entrance, or it was a 5-man tag, but with the entrance, and they did the Space Jam thing, dude. I've watched that 100 times. That was so good, so good. So, but super excited for Adam Cole versus Hangman. Think it's gonna be good. Yeah, would love to see it. Would love to see a surprise debut. I don't know who could come in, but it'd be good. Okay, then let's keep moving. We have Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. I mean, dude, it sucks that Britt Baker is just like, she's a victim of her own dominance at this point, where she is good and she is over, and she's a great champion and she does her damn job. The crowd loves her. DMD is hot, right? Thunder Rosa is just, I mean, I don't know. She just doesn't do it for me. Thunder Rosa, right? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
That's not one that I circled on the. I mean, if we could run through the card quickly, I could tell you which ones I've circled that I'm really looking forward to, and then the other ones I'm iffy about. Like that one. Like, don't get me wrong, it's gonna be good. I like Britt Baker.
But that's it's the popcorn. It's the bathroom match. Yeah, for sure. But it's usually they don't do 2 women's matches on a pay-per-view, but they have 2 women's matches on this one.
Well, Jade Cargill and Tay Conti. I mean, that's going to be, I'm looking forward to that one too.
Jade Cargill is like, there's a bunch of dudes on the roster that wouldn't beat her. She is fucking legit.
She'd whoop my ass.
She's yoked, dude. She's got a clit like a thumb, man. She's fucking huge. But okay, no.
Without telling me, if you look at the card and you were to look at who's available, right? What's the number 1 match you want to see on that thing? If you could go number 1, and I have mine picked out, the first match that I want to see.
It's Punk versus MJF.
Punk versus MJF. That is the one I want to see.
And it's not the championship, right?
I know.
That's the thing. That's how good they are at selling these matches. So this is what I'm saying, right? All right. So let's keep it going. So after Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, you have the Jungle Express versus Red Dragon versus who would ever win the casino tag next week, right? Which I think I would like it to be Silver and Reynolds, right? Johnny Hungy. Even like they've been pushing 10 a lot, so maybe they'll switch Reynolds out for 10. I don't know, but I like, they're good at, dude. They have like a good like when they get their shit in, they have some good offense and stuff, right? And then, but I don't think the Young Bucks will be kept off a major pay-per-view. So I don't know. We'll see. And then, like you said, we have Jade Cargill versus Tay Conti. That one's going to be a good one. The face of the Revolution ladder match. I'm super excited for this one because they're putting some freaking hosses in here. They got Keith Lee, Hobbs, Wardlow. Then they got Ricky Starks, Orange Cassidy, who are like kind of high flyers. And they're going to have a 6th guy will be next week. We'll figure out who it is. Do you know who it's between? Who's wrestling for that last spot?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. And then
you know what though? When you look at it, this is 9 matches. That's a lot for a AEW pay-per-view.
I think it might do. Yeah, I was thinking that as well. And I think
some of it like the pre-show, maybe.
I would see Jade Cargill and Tay Conti getting pre-show.
I could also see the Guevara, Darby, Sting, Andrade. I could see that Andrade, Hardy, and Cassidy getting pre-show. Because the next one, I mean, it's so the 3 matches. If I don't know how to rank them, Punk, MJF. Then I'm probably going Hangman, Adam Cole. Then I'm probably going Moxley, Danielson, then Jericho, Kingston, I think.
Did you see
the tag match might be before that.
Actually, did you see the Kingston Jericho promo on Wednesday?
No, but I love Kingston.
So, dude, honestly, this is like, if you're a wrestler trying to sell a match that they didn't get a ton of build, right? Like, this is kind of a late, like, they booked the match Wednesday, but they've been kind of building to this because I know Eddie's been he's been like a thorn in Jericho's side, and as far as it goes to the inner circle. But dude, Jericho's promo got this match so fucking over. The way he said, like, Eddie Kingston, the reason he was never in the big show or the big time, and the reason Jericho never heard of him before AEW is because he could never win the big one, because he's a loser and he's afraid of achievement, and he's a loser, and his uncle, who was his hero, was a loser, and his dad was a loser. Dude, Jericho's saying all of this, right? And God. Kingston's like, watch what you like. He's legit getting legit heat, So, dude, Jericho and Kingston's trying to disrupt him and get in there and stuff. And you can see Jericho just stays on him and nails it, fucking nails it. So I'm really excited to see this one. I think we'll get some fucking juice in that one as well. I think we'll get a hard way or not. Or I think someone will get gigged.
You know what's remember we always talked about it when Jericho and Punk were fighting, and he smashed a bottle of Jack on him or something like that.
Like, hey,
Punk, how's your father?
So good. Absolutely. Dude, that's another thing. Jericho, versatile. He can be a dick. He can be funny. But that promo, that was like a shoot promo that he fucking nailed.
I gotta say, years ago, I thought he was like, I always thought he was good, but people would like, our one buddy said, "Oh, he's the greatest ever," and I was like, come on, man.
He's definitely very high up
gone
there.
So far up on my list.
Yes,
it's funny. It's been later in his career that he's gone up in my
list. Do you know what he says?
I never thought in the ring he was so amazing though.
Do you know what Jericho said in the promo? He said, the big match isn't the AEW World Championship with Hangman Page. The big match isn't Punk or Moxley or anybody else. He said, he's the big match in this company. So if you want to be in the big times, you have to go against the biggest match you can get, and it's against Chris Jericho. And he's not wrong. He is not wrong.
He just trademarked something too, the influencer. He trademarked. So that's
genius.
Like on his show.
Fucking genius. Absolutely.
So he has that show. He has that trademark. So, and I've seen it now, like on his, like when they flash, like when his music, the influencer.
Dude, didn't he trademark Demo God and Le Champion and a little bit of the bubbly? Like he trademarks all of that. He's a fucking genius, man. Genius. He even said as far when it comes to that stuff, he knows exactly what he's doing. And then so
we're talking about this card right now and the build and everything like that. Like, and you look at the talent, like obviously they have a lot of talented wrestlers, male and female, but I mean, WWE has just as good, if not better talent.
Yeah. And
they can't put a card like this together because they can't develop the story. And this Revolution pay-per-view is going to be awesome. It's going to be so freaking good.
So hot.
And it's not in WrestleMania is supposed to be, it's
dude,
so
and
frustrating.
the crowd is going to be so over. And the thing is, dude, like you're saying, WWE, like the production value, like, dude, the video promos that they put out before matches and before pay-per-views are fucking great. Their production value is so good, but they just like, you're just not interested. And also, you know who's going to win
than this.
Yeah,
I dare them to have a better card than this for.
On either night of Mania, on either night,
they're not going to do it. It's impossible.
Not even close.
And even think about that. Even think about that WrestleMania. What they've done. Oh, it's a 2-night spectacle now. Like to appease their wrestlers for complaint. Like no, how about no? It's one night, and the best stories are going to be put in. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we're going to do the best guys are in there. Dude. And they're like, oh, you know what we'll do? We'll make it 2 nights, so then everybody can be a part of the show, and everyone's at WrestleMania. All these people can.
Apparently, they're having trouble selling the second night, right? Like,
I don't know. I'm just assuming because why are they?
Dude,
back up the truck for Stone Cold.
Imagine.
Don't get me wrong. Nobody wants to see Stone Cold wrestle more than me. You know what I mean? Like
I want it for the right reasons.
It's not going to be good.
I want it for the right reasons. And dude, he's got the worst neck ever. He ain't taking any fucking
still
bumps.
Jacked though.
Yeah, he's still in shape.
Not taking it, but like I think that's why they're going against Owens because they know Owens can make him look decent and
Owens
take care of him and whatever. But like
I don't know.
Wouldn't you love to see it if he put him up and give him a pile driver?
Just broke his neck.
No, not break, but like if they find a way, like when Shawn Michaels came back, I mean Triple H is fucking backdropping them onto chairs and shit like that. And it's like,
dude,
oh my God, this guy's
imagine
back is.
Imagine they did this, right? Like they need to separate the major pay-per-views in WWE from the other ones, right? So the major pay-per-views are Mania, SummerSlam, I would say Rumble, and then Money in the Bank, right?
Not Survivor Series.
I think as far as the top 4, I think Money in the Bank is bigger than Survivor Series.
Well, I enjoy it more because Survivor Series is.
But well then say Survivor Series is the top 4. But if they relegated, right, like the top talent to just those 4 pay-per-views every year, right, and they made all the other talent
even throw in Money in the Bank, give them 5,
give them 5, and then there's 7 more. Right. So then why don't they, like, the lower talent guys, build them to be main eventers on those ones. And so they can build the storylines for the major shows. And hey, what about if one of these guys on the lower ones gets fucking over? Then you got another great guy to be on a show, but it's not working right now because it's the same thing every fucking month.
Well, how about this? They had Shinsuke Nakamura had the Intercontinental title for how long? He had it for so long he didn't wrestle because he was hurt. Why don't you strip the belt from him?
Yes.
You give it to someone else.
Yes.
Shinsuke comes back.
Yes.
No, I'm the rightful thing. Oh my gosh, you know what we should do? We should have a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. The current Intercontinental Champion going against Shinsuke Nakamura.
It's funny you mention that.
That seems to make sense. You know what I mean?
And it's funny you mention that because that's why Sammy Guevara has 2 TNT championships, because that's exactly what they fucking did. Because Cody got, COVID, and then he came back and had a ladder match that was, guess what, fucking killer, fucking 5-star match, great fucking match, and dude, taking the bumps, doing the thing. So yeah,
if I told you right now that Ricochet was the Intercontinental Champion and Shinsuke Nakamura came back and said, no, I'm the real Intercontinental Champion, and they're gonna fight, you're gonna have a Ricochet versus Shinsuke Nakamura match at WrestleMania ladder match.
Oh,
like I'd be like, oh, dude,
yeah, let's
and
go.
They actually like build it and they let the guys cut fucking promos. Like I'd be like, this looks like it's gonna be pretty good. And then like Shinsuke's coming out and interfering with Ricochet's matches or whatever's going on, him and Rick Boogs or whatever.
Rick,
what's even that guy doing? What happened to Elias? What is going on?
Dude, that's exactly right. Like, give those other guys, like, have their storylines keep going. Do something with them. Something like promos.
WWE counseling session right now.
It is what it is. I mean, so let's keep it moving, though. Before we get out of here, one last thing we're going to talk about before we two last things. One, I love Hook. Hook is hot. Hooky, baby. Hook is hot. So I like that. They're doing a good job. And I think him and QT, I think that's a perfect, like, because Hook's been really just beating up other, I don't want to call them jobbers, just lower rank guys, but he's been beating up kind of newer guys. We'll say they're not jobbers, not lower rent, they're newer. And he's been beating them. I like that he's going to go against QT because QT is a step up that ladder. Right. So I do like that. And QT is a good promo and he's fucking good in ring, man. So I like to see Hook do that. I think that's going to be good. I wouldn't be surprised if they throw that on Revolution because Hook is over, dude. Hook could be, he would get that crowd going. But then that would be
the first match.
It'd be 11, dude. That would be a great way to start the show. But that's 11 matches, right?
That's
so 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're not going to do
11 matches with a ladder match and then a tornado tag match. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I agree. And the dog collar match might steal the show, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Punk in ring. So let's keep it moving. Last thing we have, I want to talk about Cody Rhodes. So we talked about him last week. Dude, I don't know. We haven't heard anything from him. Is it a work? Because if it is, dude, he is next level with his quality of storytelling. He would do this to make it a fucking work. That Cody would do that. He would do a work like this because guess what? This is next fucking level as far as a work goes. He had Tony Khan write up something that he fucking left AEW, right? No one's ever done that before. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a work, my hat's off to him. But if not, dude, the worst thing he could do. You asked me last time, how would WWE ruin Cody Rhodes coming back WWE? They'd make him fucking Stardust. That's how they'd ruin it. Could you imagine?
I still like him.
Could you? Dude, Stardust was over. I don't care what you
Stardust.
say. He got Stardust over. Stardust was
awesome.
funny. Stardust was a great promo. Stardust was good in ring, right? But that's how they would ruin Cody Rhodes. They'd bring him back as Stardust.
Well, hopefully it's a beginning of bringing him on and having him give the formula that they're doing in AEW, and let's take this and run. I mean, could you imagine if Impact, NWA, and all the, like, what if WWE had approached them like, hey, we want you guys to start showing up at our shows?
Dude, imagine if,
or we want to start showing up at your shows.
If WWE was smart, they would add,
I mean, they did it with ECW.
They would add another pay-per-view, right? And it would be called the war, like it would be called the Fight for the World or something. And if they were smart, they'd open up the door for once a year, the forbidden door, send me all your champions, right, from each promotion. And they all, like, your intercontinental guy, whoever's the intercontinentals, they're going. The tags, they're going. The women's, they're going. The world champions, they're going.
But they would refuse to have their guys lose.
They'd have to draw up a contract where, like, they have to do it for 3 years and each champion wins 1 year, right? That's the only way they could do it fair, right? So, like, 1 year, the AEW.
No, their main champion, WWE, would never let their main champion win.
That's, well, then they won't
lose.
Dude, if they did this is the biggest selling pay-per-view of all time. Think about who's the top.
What if Revolution
4
happens? Next thing you know, you see Roman Reigns come out and interfere in the championship match.
Oh my god,
it'll never happen. We're talking bullshit,
dude. Now. Here's something that I've noticed. I have HBO Max, TBS, TNT. They're all linked, right?
Right.
John Cena is on HBO Max, but he's also on TNT. Just saying, he's getting real familiar with the Warner Brothers family, which AEW is a part of the Warner Brothers family. What if? And what if he didn't come out as Cena and came out as Peacemaker in AEW?
No, that's stupid.
I mean, I'm just saying he could legally get away with it then because it's not copyrighted by WWE.
His name is copyrighted by John Cena is copyrighted by WWE.
I think it would be like gimmick infringement if he came out as John Cena.
Well, he could just be a completely different. He could be himself.
I'd have to see.
He can't be like.
I don't know. I'd wonder. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know. But we're coming to the top of time. Before we get out of here, anything else you want to discuss or anything you want to say to the fans before we take off?
No, thanks for listening. I hope you guys liked it. Rep professional wrestling. We love it. So we like to talk about it. And hopefully you guys share some of our also frustrations and enjoy the shows that you watch.
And WWE, I hope you're fucking listening. But
yeah.
Also, we will.
By the way, my hat kind of matches this background. I'm looking pretty good.
I don't know. It's orange and the background's red. But
it kind of matches.
It's close. But I also want to say that for the next major pay-per-view that we stream, we will be streaming live on YouTube. All right. We're not recording. We had recorded on like our recording platform, and then we'd splice it, and then I'd put out clips and things like that. We're not doing it anymore. We're going live on YouTube. Fucking let it ride. So next time you see us, it could be, it could be Revolution, because we're probably gonna do that live. And it's gonna be great. So
I know Nikki Lightning wants to bring the queso.
Nick Lightning will always bring the queso. All right. Well, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast, Wrestling Perspective. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by Captain Jerkbeard Tom Lavelle. You can find all our content and all our stuff on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can help us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe so I can stop asking you to like and subscribe. This has been the Working Perspectives Podcast, Wrestling Perspective. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.